we're back talking some more MCU on the channel with the first two episodes of Hawkeye debuting tonight on Disney+. Now, I did make sure that I dressed for the occasion tonight, rocking some purple because of that excitement level. I'm not gonna lie, out of the original Avengers, Hawkeye is probably my least favorite. You know, no hate to Clint, I think he's a fine character all around, but I am very much excited for this show, for the introduction of Kate Bishop especially. I am hoping that with him getting the spotlight in this show, we're going to get some good development with him, which you would hope because the show is called Hawkeye. Even if they are both called Hawkeye in the comics, this certainly feels like a passing of the torch kind of situation leading into the show. It's quite an interesting way to pass the torch though, as we open up with a really awesome throwback to the Battle of New York from the Avengers. We see a kid, Kate Bishop, and she's actually saved from the Chitauri by Hawkeye. That's how she became a huge fan of Hawkeye, while also making me feel very old at the same time, realizing just how long ago that battle was, where you could be a kid back then, and now you're Haley Steinfeld. From what I've seen so far in these first two episodes though, I really am liking the development so far as we introduce Kate Bishop into the MCU, while also giving some good development for Clint Barton as a character. I pretty much already knew going into the show I was going to love Haley Steinfeld as Kate Bishop just from the promotional material we've seen so far, but she's amazing. Like, she is probably one of the big reasons to love this show because her portrayal as Kate Bishop is fantastic. At least in these first two episodes, I think you can only go up from here. She has some fun, great quippy dialogue. On top of that, she has great chemistry with Jeremy Renner. All of their scenes together, I think, are a major highlight. I would say more of those scenes that I liked with them together are in episode 2, as the first episode is a lot more setting up the pieces of what's to come. Clint coming out of retirement, Kate Bishop getting wrapped up in this crime boss kind of situation. I'm liking the trajectory of where we're going in this show though, having Kate Bishop try to be the protege to Clint Barton. Her heart really is in the right place here, but she is very inexperienced and she does need a lot of mentorship, and I think it's always just going to get better from here. I mean, Kate Bishop's an awesome character in the comic books. The comic books that we have seen with them together I think are also some of my favorites, the Matt Fraction run especially, so I think it's going to be awesome to just have her continue to get better and better, and we see that even in some of the action scenes we already have in the show. Action scenes together are fantastic. They are the major highlight. It's one of the things I like about the street level heroes. I mean, they don't have powers, of course, they only have bows and arrows in their fists, so it makes for some very rugged action sequences, especially when we have these fights against the tracksuit mafia. Like, those guys are completely goofy. It's good to have a grounded superhero show here and there, because I think it would be absolutely ridiculous if you saw Hawkeye and Kate Bishop taking on someone like Kang the Conqueror. Tracksuit mafia, mob bosses, along those kind of lines, that stuff I think is great anyways, but it's perfect for Hawkeye. Right off the bat, at least, it is kind of clear that Haley Steinfeld is more of the lead of this show than Jeremy Renner is, which I think is fine when you want to introduce Kate Bishop into the MCU. You want to give her a lot more screen time, but I'm liking what we've had so far development-wise for Jeremy Renner in these first two episodes as well. Getting to see a little bit more of Clint's home life, wanting to spend time with his family for the holidays, and one of the other things, as a comic book fan, we finally kind of addressed the thing that's been kind of ignored in the MCU for a while, is the fact that Hawkeye is losing his hearing, which is like a big thing in the comic books. When we solely focus on Clint, a lot of his story stuff is quite compelling because he's still reeling from the loss of Natasha. Also, just his struggles with dealing with the past, as he's praised as an Avenger, but also having that period where he killed a bunch of people when he was Ronin. So it's definitely a conflict of interest, because that is a very awkward period in his life, I feel. I have to say, I am a sucker when it comes to anything that's Christmas themed, and that's part of the reason why I am such a big fan of what we've seen so far in Hawkeye, just because it has a great Christmas feel to it, and it's perfect timing because it is almost Christmas time. It's something that's been touched upon a lot since that first reveal trailer, but I really hope that we just get a Rogers the Musical in real life, because from the little that we've seen so far in this show, I would go see it. I'd go see it opening night if I had to. It looks awesome. And as a dog lover, I mean, come on, Lucky the dog is adorable. I mean, anyone who doesn't like Lucky the dog, I would question you. He's absolutely amazing. In the screen time we have seen of him so far in the show, I already know he's gonna be one of my favorites. Lucky was great in the Matt Fraction run, so I think it's just gonna be more amazing as we go on. I mean, as a dog person, I mean, that is my bias. I'm sorry. As far as things that I'm not a big fan of so far, I will say, unfortunately, I'm not a big fan of Vera Farmiga's character so far. The relationships that we see along the way in the episodes, like, I'm just feeling no connection to her. I don't know if that's maybe the point, but I'm just not a big fan of that character just yet. Maybe there's a couple episodes left still to go, but right now, just nothing. Tony Dalton, though, I think he's a much more interesting, shady character that I'm excited to see more development from. I also am very excited with the way that the second episode ends, leading into episode 3. That's going to be an exciting thing to see as we finally introduce Echo into the MCU. We kind of knew that she was going to be in the show anyway. She was in some of the promotional promotional material, and the fact she's going to be a big player, because we do know after Disney Plus they confirmed it, Echo is getting her own show. There's some rumors that maybe some Daredevil's going to be in it, stuff like that. So I'm excited to see more Echo, because she also is affiliated with Kingpin. If you didn't know that from the comics, that's pretty awesome. Now you've heard my thoughts on the first 2 episodes of Hawkeye on Disney Plus. Make sure you share your thoughts down below. What did you think of the first 2 episodes of Hawkeye? Did you like the episodes, not like the episodes? Share any thoughts or theories you may have on what's to come in the next 4 weeks, because we have 4 episodes left to go now. Only 6 episodes, so it's gonna go by fast. I mean, it's one of the bittersweet things about all these Disney Plus Marvel shows is they are very fast moving and there's not very many of them, but it's a fun ride along the way either way, so make sure you stick around and stay for all the other episodes as we talk about them each and every week. But as always, thank you guys so much for checking my reviews. I really appreciate it. Be sure to like on the video and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, so you update me reviews, reactions, unboxings, and more. For the next time, I'll see you guys later.